Welcome back to my series, Dance Moms Uncovered. It is super common for reality shows to have villain characters, and Dance Moms is no exception. And I'm ashamed to say that, like many fans who saw the show, I used to think that these people were actually pretty horrible. Even though none of these people were perfect, there was more to these so-called villains than the producers cared to show. Feel free to share your thoughts on the following evidence. First, let's have a look at Leslie and Payton. Leslie and Payton Ackerman appeared on the show for various guest appearances from Season 2, Episode 1 until Season 4, Episode 17. Leslie seemed to relentlessly try and push Payton onto the ALDC Junior Elite competition team, despite the fact that her child was too tall and none of the other mothers wanted them there. Well, both Leslie and Payton have had the chance to defend themselves online. On Payton's YouTube channel, Payton has opened up about her portrayal on the show and how the producers told her to say that she thought that the ALDC was better than the other teams. This was edited to look like Payton thought she was the best on her team. Payton has since admitted that she thinks the other girls were actually better than her.
I remember going to the competition on the first episode that I filmed, and they said, "Can you say that you think you did better than the other contestants?" Meaning the other groups. And I said, absolutely. And so I said that. They edited it and made it seem like I was saying it about the girls that I was dancing with.
That was the first episode I was on, and I was dumb to reality TV producers.
But we all know that you wouldn't say something like that.
Plus, I'm not better than them, so at all. They're
Well,
better.
As a result from this incident, Payton began to receive death threats and people visiting her house to bully her. Despite all of this, Payton seems very grateful for the show and the opportunities it has given her. Leslie has said that she's well aware that she played the role of the show's villain at times, and she says that people don't know what actually happens, or forget that things happen for the sake of the TV show. Eventually, Leslie just didn't want to do it anymore. She was over all the fighting and the yelling, which is why they left the show for good.
And it hurt really bad for her to see people attacking me and my family and her. I remember her looking at me like on Season 4, I think, and she was like, "You know what, Payton, I can't do it anymore, I'm sorry."
One of the craziest fights on the show was when Leslie and Christi fought in the streets of New Orleans. Leslie revealed that she believes that the situation was staged by the producers and Christi so that the Lukasiaks could go on vacation that week. If you watch this scene, you can see that the producers are leading the mums out into the street, potentially setting up a scene for a big fight. Christi has also spoken about this day, and while she doesn't say it was fake, she admitted that the incident was her fault.
It was my fault. It was.
Next, let's look at Christy and Sarah. Christy and Sarah Hunt have made a couple of appearances on the show over the years. As a member of the select team ensemble in Season 4, Christy was very much cast as a loud-mouthed, overprotective mother on the show. The Hunts have been very supportive of Abby over the years. They've been very outspoken about rooting for Abby during her sentencing and when Abby was fighting cancer. Christy is also very grateful for the opportunities she has gotten thanks to Abby.
Last night, I got a lovely text message from the mom and dad. Beautiful.
From Christi?
Yes, and her husband.
Oh, okay.
They're actually very
thanking me for how much I've done for their daughter and giving her that opportunity and just developing her as a dancer and
Good.
just so much. Yes.
Good.
Very nice.
They're
Very nice.
sweet family.
It's great to see that she's actually very nice to the kids. Christy has paid for the show and has put part of the money that she's earned into a trust fund for Sarah. Sarah and Christy have also appeared on a podcast where they get really open and honest about their portrayal on the show and producer manipulation.
My character was not great on that show. I'll tell you, it was sleepless nights on my knees, bawling my eyes out.
Like the last couple episodes I was on, like those were like the best ones I've ever been on, and that was like Abby wasn't screaming, like there was no crying involved. There was no producers saying like, "Oh yeah, you have to scream at her now." Make her cry and run out of the room.
That would happen. It would happen. You know, there was a time we were in LA. I locked ourselves in our hotel, and I said, "I'm not filming."
Because the producers made her do something, and Abby like completely flipped out, and they wanted us to
keep fighting with her. And I'm like, look,
she's like, I'm not doing that.
3. Kaya and Nakiya. When I watched the show for the first time, Kaya got on my nerves more than any other mum. To me, she seemed loud, rude, and violent. Kaya released a video on Nakiya's YouTube channel where she discusses her role on the show. Like many others on this list, she was aware of what she had signed herself up for, and that she was being paid to criticise others. She claims that she tried not to critique the appearances of the dancers, unlike Abby.
I knew what I signed up for when I did the show. Part of our job, and we are paid to do a job, is to criticize the other dancers. Will I ever make a comment about somebody's physical appearance or anything cruel of that nature? No, I won't. Abby has insulted kids based on their physical appearance she called Hadley roadkill, she called Ava a praying mantis, she talked about Vivi's weight, she called Nia fat, she's made fun of Vivi being adopted. She hits way below the belt, and this is both on and off camera. You guys are attacking me and saying I'm so cruel, but you idolize the woman who's the star of the show for doing something far worse than what I do.
From what I understand, their roles on Dance Moms contributed heavily to easing the financial strain that competitive dance often places on families. It's understandable that kids who come from a large family like hers would be less able to invest thousands upon thousands of dollars into one child's passion. When Nakiya was desperate to attend a competition in New York, she had to resort to starting a GoFundMe in order to get there. She also defends Nakiya by saying that she isn't a spoiled brat, and that she was very angry that the producers represented her in that way. She says that she can handle people criticising her, but that she wants people to stop harassing her daughter.
I mean, people say what they want to say about me. I'm 37 years old. I can handle the negativity, but I can't handle it when somebody makes my daughter appear as anything other than what she is. And what she is the most humble, sweet, modest, grateful, just beautiful soul you will ever meet. And I'm not just saying it because I'm her mom, because all of my kids don't act like that. I just want y'all to leave my child alone.
In Season 7, Episode 3, Kendall and Nakiya both compete solos, and Nakiya seems upset when Kendall wins. Nakiya has clarified that the two girls were actually never competing against one another, since Kendall was in the teen division and Nakiya was in the senior division. There's even a clip on YouTube of the awards ceremony for this day, where you can see Nakiya and two other seniors being awarded. You can see that Kendall was not part of the same age division. Kaya also explains that Nakiya has never gotten first place before in her solos, and that her shocked reaction was because she won a special award, not because Kendall won.
Kendall was in age 13 and 14 for whatever reason, and they put Nakiya in senior, which was 15 and over. Nakiya's been competing since she was 5 years old. Not ever has she won first place in the competition. Never. She's been second, third, seventh, 12th. She's been all types of places. She's never won first. So why would she be that angry about not winning first at a competition that's not even real? She reacted the way that she reacted because they called her out for a special award. That was not a look of, oh my God, I'm angry. It was a look of, oh my God, they really called my name.
As for her comment about the Candy Apples team deserving to win, and the fact that the ALDC only won because they're famous, apparently everyone on both the Candy Apples team and the ALDC team was saying it. It just so happened that the producers only showed Nakiya talking about it to make her seem like a sore loser.
Nakiya was not the only one who was talking about the ALDC winning just because they're famous. All of the moms were outside talking about it, including ALDC moms. She was piggybacking off of the comment that the other parents and Kathy and everybody was making about how ALDC always wins because they're the stars of the show.
Sometimes the Candy Apples tend to get upset because they work hard week after week. But unlike the ALDC, they don't win very often because they attend a lot of either fake or biased competitions. Kaya and Nakiya got along really well with their fellow Candy Apples. Nakiya also publicly supported Abby on social media when she was diagnosed with cancer. Next, there's Jeanette and Ava. When Jeanette and Ava joined the Select Ensemble in Season 4, they were quickly branded as stalkers. Well, Jeanette has reminded people on Twitter that what they see is a TV show, and the representations on it aren't accurate. Furthermore, Ava's principal has spoken out about the family's representation on the show. She finds the show very difficult to watch because she thinks very highly of Ava and her family. Jeanette also congratulated Ava on Instagram for her dance achievements. She adds that Ava was able to thrive despite the way Dance Moms was often unfair to her, such as when there were uneducated judges, unfair competitions, jealousy, the envy of others, and when there was a target on her back due to her role on the show. One instance of the unfairness towards the BDA was when they were disqualified. Apparently the judges never announced their number, so they didn't know that their timer for setting up the props had started. Abby's cruelty towards Ava wasn't just for the show either. According to Jeanette, Abby threatened to pull all her dancers from the Cabaret for a Cause charity event, unless Ava was uninvited. Despite all the conflict over the years, Jeanette still had the decency to publicly support Abby on social media when she was diagnosed with cancer. In fact, Ava is still pretty close friends with a lot of her co-stars from the show, including Nia, Melissa, Cameron, Jade, and Sarah Reasons. Lastly, I want to discuss Kaylee Quinn. While Kaylee wasn't exactly portrayed as a villain, she got a really bad portrayal, despite being on the show for only one episode. Allegedly, the family was told by production that Kaylee would be training with the Junior Elite team, and that her younger sisters would be on the mini team. Since these girls were busy with other commitments, they knew that they would only be there for 1 week. You can tell that this was what the producers promised, because Kaylee is wearing the same outfit as the Junior Elites at Pyramid, whereas her sisters match the mini team. According to her mother, who used Kaylee's Twitter to defend her daughter, Kaylee was rolling her eyes at her because she was tired of all the questions about whether or not she liked the dance. You can also see that when her mother asks if Abby is a good teacher and Kaylee says no, her hair changes positions.
I watched her teach. I mean, she is giving good corrections. She is strict. She seems like a good teacher. No.
So unsurprisingly, this conversation definitely has some dodgy editing going on. Kaylee posted a picture on Instagram of her and her sister Coco, saying that she had no problem performing 2 mini dances the year prior to her appearance on the show. She claims that the reason why she wanted to leave was actually because of the way she was treated by adults that day. Coco said that she was upset that Kaylee was blamed for the sisters leaving, when it was really her and Rihanna who actually wanted to leave that week. There were many other people from the dance community who defended Kaylee, claiming that she is actually a very sweet person, and that the show's portrayal of her is completely inaccurate. Although I don't necessarily support everything that all of these people have done in the past, I still care deeply about the truth and debunking misrepresentation. I believe that nobody on the show was absolutely perfect, but everyone should still have the right to set the record straight and not be harassed online. So what do you guys think? Do you think these villains were portrayed as worse than they really are? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.